Dragon Ball Z Resurrection of F is the follow-up to 2014's excellent Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods. Battle of Gods was, in my opinion, the definitive DBZ movie. It had all the elements that made fans from all walks of life love Dragon Ball Z. Had funny moments, great characters that had all their time to shine, a great villain, and awesome fights. Resurrection of F follows that in a spectacular fashion. Or at least that's what I'd like to say. Let me be clear, I enjoyed this movie, just not as much as I wanted to. I grew up watching Toonami on Cartoon Network, and by extension, Dragon Ball Z. Watching anything Dragon Ball Z takes me back to my childhood, so I can forgive a lot. Maybe a lot more than I should. But the one thing I have to remember is, this is a show made for kids. Sure, it has parts in it that pander to the older audience, but at its core, it's still a shonen series. So in Resurrection of F, Frieza is brought back to life using the Dragon Balls, and it's up to the Z Fighters to stop him once again. Okay, so maybe just a select few of the Z Fighters. Unlike Battle of Gods, most of the characters don't have anything to do in this. Instead, we're forced to watch a new, annoying character from one of Toriyama's past works take up a place that should have been filled by, oh, I don't know, anybody else. But back to Frieza. Okay. I need to stop here for a second. Since Goku defeated Frieza in the series, he's faced down the androids, Cell, Pikkon, 3 forms of Majin Buu, and a frickin' god. Why are we expected to just accept at face value that Frieza has increased his strength so severely in such a short time from being revived that he could be a threat? Maybe I'm being too critical. In the movie, it's explained away that he already knew Beerus and Majin Buu were more powerful than him, and that Frieza had never trained, not even once, all of his life. So once he got a little training in, he could be powerful, but as powerful as Super Saiyan God 2 Goku? That's really stretching it. I wish we had seen more of those new Super Saiyan God forms from both Goku and Vegeta, but they just kind of transform into them like they've had it for a while. We don't even see how they got them. But what really disappoints me is how they turned Battle of Gods' best aspect into this movie's worst aspect. Beerus. Beerus is a great character. In the Dragon Ball Z universe, he's the god of destruction, and very definitively chaotic neutral. He takes no part in the fights from either the heroes or the villains, and is really far more interested in eating all different types of food from all over the universe. He was a great presence in Battle of Gods. He wasn't a villain, he wasn't a hero, but a gray area somewhere in between that takes no part. But in this movie, he and his assistant Whis take all the tension out of everything. It's not just them either. There never feels like there's ever any threat. Even if Frieza beats Goku, Vegeta's right there on the wings. And even if he somehow beats him, then there's Beerus and Whis. This is a genuine problem with DBZ. The heroes are now way too strong. They don't have anyone left that can really stand against them. I mean, come on, they're now literally gods. One last thing that bothered me was the over-resilience on CG in this movie. Pretty much whenever something complicated happens on screen, the nice 2D images are replaced by CG, and it is way too noticeable. But the best thing about this movie was definitely the dub. These guys are absolutely killing it in their roles, and why wouldn't they? They've had these characters for almost 2 decades now. They have perfected Dragon Ball Z in English. So much so that I had no interest in seeing this movie until its English dub came out. Notable mention goes to Chris Ayres as Frieza. In my mind, his voice is the definitive Frieza voice.
50% of my power, but a paltry half. A half should suffice to grind you into space dust.
The perfect amount of arrogance, annoyance, evilness, and spite. I'm gonna be honest, I'm really happy there's new DBZ. Keep it coming, I say. But this just seemed a bit too much. I think this is pretty much proven that Dragon Ball Z needs a new threat that isn't just a stronger version of a previous villain. Sorry, Frieza. Oh, one last thing. This is a spoiler for the end of the movie, so I'll just leave it right here at the end. You can stop listening if you don't want to hear it. Okay, seriously, a tiny little laser sniper took out Goku right at the end? I'm calling bullshit on that, Toriyama.